Hello, beautiful, amazing world and you individual. Today, I would like to speak about communication is key. To me, and what I have found out for myself, is communication, and especially if you are truly going in to understand what each word feels, means, and how it can be used in different settings based on the meaning of the word. As an example, when you deepen yourself in language, when you deepen yourself in trying to understand others and their language, and how to, with efficiency and love and interest, communicate and speak, you can speak your inner soul and your inner world more clearly and more sincerely, honestly. Because when you have communication skills, when you have learned a certain vocabulary, where you can express your inner feelings, especially in pictures, especially in forms that can make anyone understand it, helps a lot in spiritual science and in spiritual development. Communication is so important because it allows for a much more deep, broad, and higher points of view, because you can discover and explore and experience different areas of life. These areas of life is not necessarily easy to get into, because communication in itself, there are many that doesn't care for it, and hence it becomes it is often misunderstandings in the picture, because someone is only using words that is not thought through, or it is not used in the right context of things. It is laziness, more or less. This is of course in extreme cases where someone just let themselves go and stagnate to the point where they can barely speak anymore. It happens, believe me. But with studying, reading and listening to audiobooks, expressing yourself, even alone and with others, understanding, finding new words, it brings about a depth. This depth is human. Human beings communicate in this intricate and wonderful manner. And we shouldn't take that for granted. By becoming a fluent speaker in one or two languages is indispensable, irreplaceable in this. It is so important. It allows for understanding. And understanding is also key in spirituality. When you understand yourself, when you understand where your language comes from, where your feelings, thoughts, and words is expressing you as a human being, you will quickly realize how important it is to communicate. If you communicate willy-nilly, if you communicate without any forethoughts, without caring for communication, it will often come out jumbled and maybe detached from reality too, abstractions and so on. But if you are in tune, you will, even when you don't have forethought of it, you will speak directly what you feel. You will speak directly what comes here and now in this moment. Planning everyone can do, but how much of this planning is coming to fruition? Barely any of these, because we are not meant to plan that way. We are meant to take things in strides, but we are not meant to only be here and now and be something now. We are meant to do something now that allows us something in the future. The more you sacrifice your now, your pleasures, your instant gratifications now in placement, if you replace it with esoteric development, you are sacrificing time here and now for the future. This is necessary if we are to have any seeds of the future whatsoever. We don't do this 24 hours a day. We do this, of course, for as much as we are allowed and for as much as we can do an effort in doing so. There is a balance to everything. If you have a pendulum and you put it on the side and it will fall over to the other side. Gravity. So the communication allows for a deeper, more comprehensible life, a more comprehensible way of speaking. Communication in itself is an art. And to not take it seriously does not exactly allow for development, because language is in direct relation to development. And language is beautiful. Language is so amazing. For example, being able to speak in our country, we have two languages, our mother tongue, and we learn English from more or less first grade. So we are fluent speakers in English more or less when we reach an age of, our kids, our little brothers and kids and little sisters, more or less can speak extremely good English, which has brought about a certain culture in our society and also in how we communicate. We love to speak English. And English is a wonderful language because it is more all-encompassing. It has different synonyms that might behave and are the same as another word, but it feels a teensy bit different because it is expressed and pronounced differently. But I digress here. It was just an example. Language also heightens your intellect. It heightens your memory. It also brings about a certain enjoyment in speaking. You become more confident in speaking because you know what you want to get out. You know what you want to speak out. So, I recommend personally, of course, everyone has freedom to consciously, or at least put it in the subconscious so that you absorb more language. And believe me, if you use audiobooks and study, it will come automatically because many words are kind of unknown and then you have to find out where it fits in the whole scheme of things. But in the end, you will always grow more communication abilities and skills by studying. Study is so important to keep you sharp, to keep you active, to keep you with effort. Because once you settle, once you say, here I will stay, that is where you will stay in life. You won't deepen, you won't mature, you won't expand upon yourself further than where you gave up. There you will be stuck in evolution and in development. But if you are constantly effort in making yourself and making others around you have an opportunity for growth in general, objectively, lovingly, and carefully, with a caring heart. It is so important with a caring, empathic heart. If you don't have understanding of others, you won't be able to communicate correctly because there will be a barrier there. But if you have the right communication skills, that barrier will slowly decay and ebb away because it will be enjoyable to speak. It will be enjoyable to communicate. Communication should be enjoyable. And if we are consciously here actively, we can make communication enjoyable. We can make it sacred again. We can actually speak our soul and our inner intentions and our inner focus out to this world. That is what communication is for. It is soul language. It has been very, very limited to small concepts and detailed separations, when the language in itself is a whole thing that flows and lives. It evolves also. And there comes new impulses into the language that wasn't there before. Countless of these influxes have happened the last 3 to 5 decades. And we see especially how fast it is expanding now. It is kind of amazing when you think about it. Yeah, people working. And the more you expand, the more you're allowing to be creative in your communication. Creativity. Oh, I love creativity. So I think this was what I had to say. May the divine and Christ and the divine hierarchy, divine, guide us all on this beautiful path to evolution and to the knowledge of the divine. Thanks everyone. Love you. Goodbye.